In this video, we're going to be reviewing the major ideas and formulas from this unit. So the first thing we reviewed was perimeter. The perimeter is the distance around the outside of a 2D shape, meaning something that's flat, something that you can easily draw on paper without needing to try and make it look like it has a depth. So perimeter in real life, you might see word problems that have ideas about building a fence, having tiles around the edge of a pool, walking around the outside of a park, anything that involves going outside of something. We calculate it by adding up the length of all the sides. This works for polygons. It's different for something like a circle, but as long as there are straight sides, you just have to add them up. So let's do an example. Go ahead and pause for a moment and find the perimeter of this shape. Did you get 20 units when you added up all the sides? Notice this is the only measurement that we worked on in this geometry unit where you don't have a squared or a cubed. It's just units. All right, next we worked on area. So area is the space inside of a 2D object. So area in real life, you might be asked to figure out how much carpet you need to cover the floor, how much seed you would need for a field, how much paint to cover a wall. Notice how that word cover keeps showing up a lot, right? Your area is covering something. Now calculating it depends on the shape. So these are some of the ones that are easiest to get confused because there's a different formula for each shape. Now, the three shapes that we focused on in this unit were rectangles, triangles, and parallelograms. Can you remember those formulas on your own? If so, pause now and write them down. For a rectangle, we usually say that the area is the length times the width. So in this example, we have a length of 4 and a width of 2, giving us an area of 8, because 2 times 4 equals 8. For a triangle, we said that the area is the base times the height divided by 2. So if you had a triangle that looked like this, where you had a base of 4, you need to figure out where the height is, and it's always at a 90-degree angle from the base. This one is 3, so you would do 4 times 3 divided by 2, which gives you 6. And since these are areas, we're always going to be saying units squared. And for a parallelogram, a very similar formula to the rectangle. We say that the area is, and then here we say base times height, because the height isn't one of the exterior sides, it's interior. So let's do an example of that one as well. So here we have a base of 5, and then we have a height of 2. So then we would do 5 times 2 equals 10 units squared. Next we learned about surface area. So surface area is all the outside surfaces of a 3D solid. So we did examples like wrapping a package, painting a birdhouse, frosting a cake. We talked about which box is more efficient, which one uses more or less cardboard. Those are all surface area ideas. To calculate, you find the area of each face of the solid individually and then add them together. So let's go ahead and do an example. Go ahead and pause now and find the surface area of this rectangular prism. One strategy that we used for finding the surface area of each face was to write down, to kind of label them and then organize your work that way. So here the front would be the 5 by 4. So that should give us 20. So that was 5 times 4. And that's going to be the same for the back. On rectangular prisms, they're always going to be in pairs. And then the left would be the 2 by 5. So that would be 10. And so would the right. And then the bottom would be, the top, bottom and the top would both be the 4 by 2. So that would be 8 and 8. And so then you add up that total to get 76 units squared. And we're still talking about square units here, even though it's a 3D shape, because we're just talking about that exterior layer, which is a 2D measurement. And finally, we learned about volume. Volume is the interior space of a 3D solid. So for that, you might be asked how much water it would take to fill a pool, or which container can hold more of something, or how much sand is in a sandbox. It's all about filling things up. To calculate, and this works for all prisms, but only prisms, you find the area of the base and multiply it by the height. Go ahead and pause now and find the volume of this rectangular prism. Sorry, triangular prism. Did you remember that the base of a triangular prism is always the triangle? So even though it's not drawn to be on the bottom, we're going to start by finding the area of the triangle. And sometimes when it's a confusing looking one like this, I like to redraw it separately just to really make sure that I know what I'm doing. So we have 4 measurements for this triangle. We have the base of 5, and then a height of 5, and then those 2 other sides being 7 and 6. Well, for area of a triangle, we just need base and height. So I'm going to do 5 times 5 divided by 2 by using the base and the height. And that gives me 12.5. And then I need to multiply the area of the base by the height. We sometimes wrote that as being the big B times H equals volume. So then my height here, that refers to the height of the prism. So that's this 10 there, because that connects the 2 triangles together. So 12.5 times 10 gives me 125, and I'll need to do units cubed. All right, for your practice problem today, I want you to find the surface area of this prism. Make sure you remember what surface area means. Work carefully. We will check this in class tomorrow.